Hello friend, my name is Doombabe, and let's talk about Kotoura-San. Kotoura-San is a proclaimed romance comedy that follows the story of Haruka Kotoura, a high schooler that sort of has the psychic ability to read the minds of others. As a young child, she couldn't differentiate between what were thoughts and what were spoken words, so she frequently got into a lot of trouble. She would respond to thoughts such as ones of her parents' affairs or the negative thoughts and feelings that friends harbored towards each other. As a result, she was kind of branded as a pathological liar by her peers and as a monster by her parents. Even her own parents abandoned her, so Haruka was on her own for most of her life until she came across Yoshihisa Manabe, a dim-witted classmate of hers that had chronic sexy thoughtitis. When he finds out that Haruka is a psychic, his first thought isn't to leave her. It's the fact that he will probably die if he has to suppress his sexual fantasies, most of which are actually about Haruka herself. Anyways, they quickly become very good friends and are recruited by the school's ESP club, which is really just a guy and his childhood friend that is obsessed with psychics. As the story progresses, the group finds themselves involved in a series of brutal attacks in their city, and they take it upon themselves to get to the bottom of things. I thought the opening was just adorable. I mean, it was a little plain for the most part. The characters just walking, running, or just kind of standing there making poses. There were some bits that were just cuts from the series itself, which I feel could have been saved for something a bit more creative, but I liked the opening overall. It was cute, peppy, full of colors, and reminded me of Candy. The song used is You Want to Hear the Story About the Backstory, right? By Megumi Nakajima, and it's a very upbeat song that sets the mood for each episode. And that's something I feel is important with anime, because a lot of the times, as I said before, if I don't like the opening, I'm not really going to sit through the rest of the anime. The main closing is the type that pulls on heartstrings, which actually isn't a bad thing. It starts out sad as it shows a monochrome line of Haruka's at various ages as a sad and depressed child. Halfway through the outro, the scene changes to bright and colorful as she is now depicted with friends. The visual change makes it even seem like the song itself has changed, going from sad and depressing to almost hopeful and inspiring. I couldn't find an English dub, so my voice acting review is going to be entirely about the Japanese version. And it really wasn't anything to write home about. I mean, it wasn't anything special, it was okay, but it wasn't anything worth like harsh criticism or any sort of praise. Hisako Kanemoto was the person who voiced Kotoura, and yeah, her voice was that generic high-pitched lowly voice that you pretty much hear with characters under the height of like 5'5". But there were parts where her character would get angry or sad, and you could hear her potential as a voice actress. As for Jun Fukushima, who played Yoshihisa Manabe, it was beyond generic. His voice actor sounded like every damn voice actor in the history of the universe that ever voice acted for like an awkward or even normal average teenage male, and it was boring and he should feel boring. The supporting characters were all in the same boat actually, and honestly, the only one that even remotely surprised me for half a second was Daichi's voice actor, who the only reason that it surprised me was because he actually had a normal voice instead of like a really high-pitched one, because he's like freaking 3 feet tall. The first thing I want to say about the writing is I went into this anime expecting a cute and fluffy romance story, because that's typically what I think of when I think of rom-coms. So I was completely thrown through a loop when the anime starts out with the main character being bullied and put down shortly before being abandoned by her mother. I was expecting sunshine and rainbows, and it gave me dark clouds and a heavy downpour of feels. I quickly changed perspective, adjusted, and began enjoying the story for what it really was, a drama. Sure, it had its moments where I laughed my ass off, and the lovey-doveyness was very much there, but the way that it was written, it didn't feel like a rom-com to me at all. Anyways, the writing was exceptional. The pacing was excellent. We start out watching Haruka's early life, getting a solid idea of who she is, and then as more characters are eased into the story, in more than just one way, we are given time to get to know them before the main part of the story really takes off. I appreciate that as a viewer, because I typically don't enjoy anime that try to make you understand all of these characters while trying to understand what's going on in the story. Anyways, the way that the writing transitioned from the drama to the mystery and then back to the drama again was near seamless. And I really appreciated how they managed to throw in humor without making that the big aspect of the anime. And in terms of the humor, I typically do get a little sick of the same old humor in anime, but there were instances where I found myself having chuckles and good laughs. The romance was stereotypical, I will give it that. And I was not even remotely surprised or even touched when the last episode came around and the pair finally confessed their needlessly suppressed feelings for each other. The drama and suspense are what really drew me in. I found myself waiting in anticipation for episodes to unfold because the writers would tease you with little bits of information to string you on like a little trail of candies before hitting you in the face with the story's climax. The entire time you think you figured out who the bad guy is and your heart sinks for Haruka's misfortune, and then shit twists around, slaps you in the face, and it's so well done that you say, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" The character design for this anime is like a cross between a normal anime style and the chibi style. Very rounded features with little detail, big eyes, and an overall simplistic style. However, I will admit that I did not like the character design for Haruka or Daichi. With Daichi, his height doesn't bother me or even matter to me, it's his face. His face is constantly stuck in this pursed, fishy look, and his glasses are almost always a solid blue. While I get it's sort of like Tanaka from Black Butler, where we only get to see his face normally in very serious situations, I feel like it dehumanizes him, and I can't appreciate him as a character. As for Kotoura, I just don't dig the loli thing. I feel like they made her small and adorable so she can appear as kind and innocent as she is. You can create an innocent and kind character without making her into a toddler. And then when you've got Manabe's weird perverted sexual fantasies, I really just feel like I'm watching a loli hentai, which I don't even know if that's legal. All in all, I really enjoyed this anime. It had ups, it had downs, it had a good conflict, and it had great writing. The design could have been tweaked a little to be more appropriate, and the romantic aspect could have been a little less cliche, but those traits didn't really fully take away from the experience of watching Kotoura-San. This is an anime I would definitely recommend to other people, even if you're not really big into the romantic comedy genre. My overall score would be about a 7 overzealous psychic lovers out of 10. So that's it for this anime review. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you've seen it, let me know. If you're going to watch it, let me know. If you have something you would like me to review, let me know. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!
I'm not gonna drop it, hopefully.
Anyway, so we're gonna open this. It's a- Whoa! Oh my god! I'm just gonna put this all back in there and- Oh, no! I'm gonna drop it on my carpet. Come hither, roaches.